All right, I'll call the meeting to order. We properly noticed.
The meeting has been posted according to law.
Roll call.
President Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Harding.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes.
Here.
Commissioner Lederhouse.
Here.
Commissioner Morath. Here. Commissioner Olson is excused.
All right, I do not see anybody here for citizen participation. So we're going to skip citizen participation and move on to approval of minutes, August 11th, 2025.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I will abstain because I was not here.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or corrections? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? One abstention. Motion passes. Miscellaneous business. Item 1, Tax Incremental District Number 4. I will open the public hearing regarding the proposed amendment of the boundaries and project plan of Tax Incremental District Number 4, and then once that's done, we'll move to consideration and possible action of a resolution approving an amendment to the project plan and boundaries of TID 4. So we have Kayla here from Ellers Joint Review Board, met this afternoon. So you want to, I will act like I have never heard this before.
There we go. I probably won't go into as much of some of the word specifics, but I'm going to start with the map. Just to give you a general idea of what the additional boundaries that we're looking to add into 4 are. The blue are the existing parcels that are in Tax Incremental District Number 4, and the red are the proposed parcels that will be brought into Tax Incremental District Number 4, mainly being targeted for development and redevelopment. And so, Eileen, I don't know if you wanted to go out kind of what was the proposed developments happening, but the project costs that are being added, and we'll talk about those in a little bit, are primarily for land acquisitions and stormwater retention basins. So some pretty standard costs that we're adding, but it's more to target the redevelopment and development of these parcels.
Yeah, so one of the motivations to adding the properties that are south of I-43 in the existing business park is that we have a retention pond that was developed in the late 90s there. DNR standards have since changed, and we will be required to upgrade that pond in order to accommodate any new development. So had that development occurred in the late 90s, the pond would have been okay, but since the development had not occurred yet, we have to upgrade that retention pond, and the cost is just over $300,000. So that does make that an obstacle when we're trying to get development of those properties. The village is looking to acquire some of those properties south of I-43 to promote development. We're currently in conversation with 4 different developers that have an interest in developing within the area. I can't really give further detail now, and I can't promise that all 4 will actually occur because, when we have conversations, it doesn't always transpire, but I'm optimistic. We have the 82-acre parcel that is south of Honey Creek Road that we've been working on, and only have 2.5 acres of that 82-acre parcel remaining. So we have successfully developed that parcel. The parcels north of I-43, we decided to include because there's been some inquiries related to the parcels that are just adjacent to 120. Developers acquired that, and then we also included the property at the end of Buell Drive, just in case something were to occur before the TID closes.
Thank you. And in order to facilitate those, if you go to page 20 of the project plan, which is also 20 of your PDF, outlines the original project plan expenses, which were just over $21.8 million. This amendment is projected to add about $2.3 million in project costs, primarily related to the land acquisitions that Eileen discussed, and then that stormwater retention pond. That stormwater retention pond, just a portion, is going to be a TID eligible cost for TID 4, not the entire project. And so it kind of shows you there that the First Amendment's adding $150,000 specifically for the stormwater retention pond. As part of the amendment, we always like to give an overview of what has been expended out of the district to date. And that
I have a correction. The whole retention pond.
whole
is-
retention
yes,
pond, okay.
We just needed to add some
Oh,
funds
yes,
because we
okay.
hadn't expended all the retention pond funds. But it is
Correct.
the booster,
The
the
booster,
booster
okay.
pumps that a portion is related to the
Yes.
TID.
Now I recall from earlier. And so that's that 60,000 for the water main and water system improvements that Eileen referenced. But if you kind of go to the far right of this chart, outlines what the village has spent to date within tax increment district number 4, which is just over $7 million, and then we will be adding those costs to it. There is a project cost called Phase 1 and 2 remediation that has expended more than what was in the original project plan. This is not a problem. The project plan provides a facilitation to make these expenditures in these projects. And the only caveat is that if those expenditures and projects deviate more than 20%, that is the county's kind of approval and stamp of approval, they require additional JRB action, but we are still within that 20% overall and within those specific project expenditures that the village can continue to make those expenditures without seeking additional approvals. The approval before you today is the first of 4 permitted project plan amendments, and then the first boundary amendment. You can make unlimited boundary amendments, but you can only make 4 project plan amendments throughout the entire life of the district, and so this is the first one of those 4 allowables. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Anything you want to see on the map, or? Much better position than we were for TID 3. So, all right, so then if there's nothing else, then I will close the public hearing and we'll move on to the consideration and possible action related to the resolution. So this is the resolution that JRB approved this afternoon. And then this will go to the village board, assuming it's approved here, go to the village board next week, and then the JRB will meet one more time to formally adopt everything. All right, I'll make the motion then. I'll move to approve the resolution approving an amendment to the project plan and boundaries of tax incremental district number 4.
I'll second it.
I should say that's 2025-13 PC. All right, there's a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Kayla.
Thank you, Caleb.
And tell Brian to get his computer fixed. Item 2, discussion related to revising requirements for rezoning petitions. Orin?
So I did some research to try to find out how this item ended up on the Plan Commission's agenda. Essentially, the previous zoning administrator had gone through the code at some point and made some notes about different areas for potential amendments, common sense type amendments. The specific note regarding this was that this section should be revised to differentiate between landowner-initiated map amendments and those proposed by the village. And I think the rationale for that was that he didn't want the village to have to strictly apply its own standard if you were going to do something village-wide as far as paying to notice everyone, which would be burdensome. And so the current language states that you're supposed to send out notice to property owners within 300 feet when the map amendment potentially involves a lot of parcels. Everyone within 300 feet could be, again, onerous or costly to the village. So the specific language is highlighted in your packets that would be proposed to be changed. I just wanted to know if this is something that the Plan Commission would like to entertain, and if so, I can bring back some proposed language amendment to the next Plan Commission meeting in October.
Anything that cleans up the code and makes it more common sense, like you said, and makes roles and responsibilities clear. Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
Any other thoughts or comments we want to tell Warren before he does his homework? Was there a reason why the paragraph H3 was highlighted in yellow? Was there any particular reason for that? I know we've had that as an issue recently, but,
Just that that's where he would like there to be some differentiation.
okay, just that one paragraph there.
Yep.
Okay. All
Either,
right.
either, repealing and recreating it with something new, or, adding some language that would, again, provide that differentiation between a petitioner application versus a village application for a
Okay.
rezoning.
Okay. And in this, like, I'm just thinking to like the Starbucks property, in our situation that we had that occurred there, I'm assuming we sent notice per this paragraph to the town. Are we asking the town to give notice to their landowners, or do we automatically do that even though they're not in the village?
No, we would notify the clerk of an adjacent municipality, and it would be up to them and their community to decide how they inform their residents.
So even though, like in that scenario, the cemetery is within 300 feet, we would have expected the town clerk to notify the cemetery, not for us to notify the cemetery.
Correct.
Okay. Is that standard practice?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Other comments or thoughts, questions? All right, we'll take a look at what you come up with.
Okay.
All right. Then, any other recommendations for future agenda items? Always say more development in the TID. All right, so we'll take a look at that. We'll see if we have anything else. If that's the only thing for the next agenda,
It won't be.
It won't be?
We'll have
Okay.
a couple other items.
okay. All right, then our next meeting will be October 13th at 6:30. So with that, I will move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. 12 minutes, 45 seconds.